Hello, this is Jessie Zalkowski. This is my overview presentation for SAF meds for ABA628. To start, I'm just going to pull up this SCC graph so you can have a visual of what my progress looks like throughout the course. Right here is where ABA628 starts. I put in the phase change, or the phase change lines for each deck that I started. New intervention. And right here is deck 1, and as you can see, I have a increasing acquisition A cell, a decreasing acquisition D cell. Deck 2, there was a week that we had off, so that's why there's some data missing there. But again, it shows an overall increase acquisition A cell, decrease in D cell. And then I'm currently on deck 3 right now. I just finished the first week of collecting data. This is going to be the second week. And again, an increase in the acquisition A cell, decrease in D cell. So in terms of a skill acquisition, this is definitely the type of acceleration line that we want to see. When it comes to studying my deck for SAF meds, I typically will go through the cards in study mode. Let's see if I can pull it up. And I'll go through all the cards in study mode, and I'll click the button that says show error cards. And then after I go through them, I'll practice all the ones I got wrong, and I'll keep going through all the ones that I got wrong until I get them all right. And then I'll typically do my 5 trials. The only exception to that is when I'm trying to collect baseline data on the first day of a new deck. The interventions that I've had the most success with was a setting events, where I'm studying. Typically, I've been getting better results when I study in the morning before work, before the kids get up. And I set my reinforcer for the week on day 1. And I've been trying to follow through on my reinforcers as soon as possible. So I don't want too much time to go past from the time I meet aim to the time I get my reinforcer. And I also have had a lot of success recording myself saying the SAF meds cards, because I do spend a lot of time in the car, so I like listening to the audio of it. And then if there's any terminology that I have a hard time with, I like to watch short YouTube videos on it. It really helps me when I hear someone else explain it rather than just read definitions in the textbook. And then in terms of my course, let's see, what was it? Personal objectives in the course. I think I read ahead to the chapters that this course was going to be covering. And 2 things that I kind of wanted a better understanding of was stimulus control and equivalence-based instruction. I was a little confused on those concepts, and I wanted to understand them better. And I went through the task list to see what would be covered on the exam. One thing, I guess, with those 2, I definitely think I met my goals. I understand stimulus control a lot better now, and I've been able to apply it at work. For example, I was working with a kiddo, and we were working on expressive language for more. And the way I wrote the goal was say more. So the stimulus control was really in that the verbal I was giving him, say more, the verbal SD, but I wanted it to be naturally occurring. So I faded that, the verbal, and I just withheld whatever food or toy that he wanted for it. And once I noticed the motivation was high, I started just putting it in front of him so it was out of reach, and seeing if I could transfer the stimulus control from that verbal SD to something more naturally occurring. And then the second terminology I mentioned was equivalence-based instruction. That was very confusing to me. I think I was overthinking it, but I watched a lot of YouTube videos on it. I did all the readings, I watched the lectures, PowerPoint that was provided with the course, and now I definitely have a better understanding of that, and it really makes sense to me. So overall, I really enjoyed this course. I learned a lot. I think it's going to be helpful when taking the BCBA exam. And yeah, that's it.